If you're tuning in to get my Veriswap strategy, I know I said that yesterday I would give it to you, but actually this story is way too juicy to pass up. I'm talking about the Kawhi Leonard, LA Clippers, and the NBA basically debacle that is going to make the NBA look like a joke. Now, if you're not aware of what's going on, so basically Kawhi Leonard got a $28 million marketing contract, basically a sponsorship or a sponsor deal from a company called Aspirations, which is a fraudulent company, already been investigated by the SEC, already under, I believe under indictment, or that's coming, that's imminent. It was basically just a shell company. Steve Ballmer, who is the owner of the Clippers, the new owner of the Clippers, which we're going to get into why that's important. He invested $50 million into this fraudulent company. He claims, again, he did an interview with ESPN last week saying, I just put money in, I know nothing, I see nothing, I do nothing, I know nothing, right? Okay, so Steve Ballmer thought he kind of escaped. And Pablo Torre, who is the former ESPN reporter who has been on this story from the beginning, has basically just done an episode with David Sampson, former executive of the Florida Marlins, and he has the receipts that Steve Ballmer's chief business partner, Dennis Wong, who is also a minority owner in the Clippers, put $2 million into Aspirations 9 days before Kawhi's payment of 1.75 was due. 9 days before. Here's the problem, and I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. Aspirations was already going bankrupt. They disclosed that to Dennis Wong. Dennis Wong is not an idiot. Dennis Wong is not an idiot. Neither is Steve Ballmer. If Dennis Wong was investing $2 million into Aspirations as an investor, he would have said to Steve, do you think this is a good idea? And Steve, because Steve is an asshole, and I'm sorry for cursing, but Steve is an asshole, and he would have said, no goddamn way, I'm going to kill those guys. Aspirations is a bankrupt company. You are not putting in $2 million. No way, no how. I'm not letting my friend get screwed. But Steve Ballmer didn't do that. Steve Ballmer said, you should do it. Why? Because Kawhi Leonard was owed $1.75 million that Kawhi was never going to get paid. In fact, Kawhi was not going to get paid the rest of his contract because Aspirations was out of money. They had nothing left. They had already spent everything. They were a fraudulent company. They did nothing, do nothing, know nothing. Now here's the problem. The NBA is screwed. Adam Silver is screwed because what are they going to do? So LA Clippers, Steve Ballmer, have circumvented the NBA salary cap. Basically, they paid Kawhi Leonard more money than he was legally allowed to get, according to NBA rules. End of story. I mean, that's pretty clear at this point. The problem is, what are you going to do? Like, what is Adam Silver going to do? The only reason that Steve Ballmer is the owner is because the previous owner, Sterling, said some things on tape about his girlfriend, 20-some-odd-year-old girlfriend. Remember, he was in his 80s, she's in her 20s, and she was hanging out with the players, and he was like, why are you hanging out with the N-word? Now, I'm going to just say this. No one's going to like it, but I'm going to say this. When you stand on moral grounds as a business, that means that you actually have to have morality. And businesses have no morality. That's actually something that people need to learn. Businesses are not moral. There's ethics. There's business ethics. And racism is not against ethics. The fact that Sterling, the former LA Clipper owner, was a jerk, they're all jerks. Every single owner is a jerk. Like, I mean, I can't even begin to, name one billionaire that's not a jerk. They're jerks. That's not against the law. That's also not against morality. There's ethics. It's what you do. Breaking the rules is not ethical. That's the problem. So Sterling did not break any NBA rules, but they forced him to sell the team to Ballmer. Ballmer just broke the rules. So there's only one choice that Adam Silver has. He has to force Steve Ballmer to sell the Clippers now. That's it. He has no other way out. Ballmer broke NBA rules. Sterling did not break the rules. He just was a bad PR look that one of his owners is a geriatric who is racist. Like, none of us could have seen that. Like, you're talking about an 80-year-old guy. This is like 10 years ago. So he would be 90 now. So think about a 90-year-old white guy not being a racist. Of course he's racist. Like, I mean, give me something that I don't know. But so you're punishing him for being 90? That's really what the NBA was like, well, we're going to slap you and spank you on the ass. No. We don't like old racist guys. Who do you think owns all the NBA teams? Old racist guys. Like, so the NBA is a joke. You should not be watching the NBA at this point. It is a complete joke. I don't know what they're doing. They don't play basketball. And the WNBA is even worse because they hate Caitlin Clark. Like, the whole NBA sphere, like, this is not the David Stern NBA anymore. This is the Adam Silver NBA, and it is a joke. It is a complete joke. I don't know what you do if you're an NBA fan. I really don't. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's nothing you can do. You have to now force Steve Ballmer to sell the team. There's no other way out. There's no sanction. Like, how do you adjudicate that? Like, how do you punish Steve Ballmer? He's a billionaire. He doesn't care. He's going to be like, whatever, your rules don't mean anything. And all the other owners are going to go, well, if that's the only punishment that Steve Ballmer gets, well, then we're just going to break the rules too. Like, what's the big deal? I mean, and the players are not going to be upset. Again, we're talking about the superstar players because the rest of the league's not going to get any money. But the superstar players are going to be like, yeah, we like the breaking the rules because we're going to get more money. I mean, you got to also understand, like, the psychology of this. What player, especially a superstar player, and their agents and their lawyers and their managers who all get paid on how much money these guys get, why are any of them going to object to Steve Ballmer circumventing the salary cap? They're not. Everyone made money. Everyone made money. The only person that looks bad is Adam Silver and the NBA, and the owners don't care. The NBA is done. This is it. This is what takes down your league. The fact that you have rules and no one follows them because it was really a gentleman's agreement to begin with. This is it. The NBA is a complete joke. I want to know what you guys think. What should be the punishment for Steve Ballmer? What should be the punishment for the NBA? I mean, again, this isn't really a legal issue other than the fact that did Steve Ballmer, like, is he a fraudster? I don't know. The SEC has to make that decision. The FBI have to make that decision if Steve Ballmer is legally responsible for Aspirations and basically defrauding people out of their money, because Aspirations took money from a lot of people. Again, Ballmer put $50 million in, but a lot of that money went right to Kawhi. A lot of the money went right to Kawhi. So, I mean, did Steve Ballmer actually believe in this company? And did he then get involved and get other people to invest in this company based on fraudulent information? Ballmer might be the next, again, we're talking small fish, but Ballmer might be in a Bernie Madoff situation where he got people to put money in for fraudulent reasons. Dennis Wong lost $2 million because of Steve Ballmer. Again, Dennis Wong may have been like, I know I'm losing $2 million, so I'm not really being defrauded technically, but legally he was defrauded. He invested $2 million in a company that was already bankrupt and that was never going to actually get out of bankruptcy. And so therefore he put $2 million into a company he knew was going out of business. That's fraud. I mean, that's the clear definition of fraud. Again, the only reason Dennis Wong would do that is if Steve Ballmer told him to do it, which now puts, maybe that's the cover that Adam Silver needs, is he needs the FBI and the SEC to go after Ballmer, because then Adam Silver can say, we don't want criminals in owning our teams, and that's it. So Ballmer, you have to sell the team because you're a criminal. Because, I mean, they forced an owner to sell their team because he said the N-word. Go woke, go broke is not just a slogan, it's real. We have to stop allowing our morality to run our lives. You have to be a moral person. You personally need to be a moral person. You are not the moral police. You cannot tell other people how they should act, how they should behave, how should. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You need to shut up. Worry about yourself. I used to teach this. So I'm a former teacher, principal, superintendent. I used to teach this to my students. Mind your own business. You need to mind your own business. You want to be interested in other stuff, that's great. You want to be into the salacious news, the TMZ, that's great. But mind your own business. You need to worry about you. Who else is worrying about you? No one. So stop worrying about your neighbor. Stop worrying about your friend. Stop worrying about the guy next door. Start worrying about yourself. Figure out what you're doing. Be moral for you. Stop being moral for other people, because when you get on the high horse, the only person that looks stupid is you. You're not a cowboy. Get off the horse. Seriously. I'm sorry. I want to give you the Veriswap strategy. I'm going to do that either later today or tomorrow. I promise. I absolutely promise. But I had to come on and talk about this story because it was so juicy. I mean, the NBA is an absolute joke. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll see you tomorrow.